A senior official tells CBS News about 500 immigrant children forcibly separated from their parents have been reunited since the zero-tolerance border policy began in May. It is still unclear how many of them are being detained with their families or remain in the United States.
And we are now learning more information about this little girl in this picture who has become the symbol, really, of U.S. immigration. In an interview, the border agent tells us what happened in the moments before that picture was taken. David Begnaud is with us now, again from McAllen, Texas.
We were patrolling the border. It was after 10 o'clock at night.
That is Border Patrol agent Carlos Ruiz, who says he was the first to encounter Sandra Sanchez and her young daughter after they allegedly crossed the Rio Grande River into Texas illegally.
We asked her to set the kid down in front of her, not away from her. She was right in front of her. And so we can properly search the mother. So the kid immediately started crying as he set it down. I personally went up to the mother and asked her, "Are you doing okay? Is the kid okay?" And she said, yes. She's tired and thirsty. It's 11 o'clock at night.
When I took this picture, I knew it would be important. I had no way of knowing that it would touch people quite on the level that it has.
That's Getty photographer John Moore, who joined Ruiz for a nearly 9-hour ride-along on the border. He was just feet from Sanchez and the little girl.
I asked her how long she'd been traveling, and she gave me this very weary look, and she said she'd been on the road with her daughter for a month. Imagine doing that with children. It's almost impossible to imagine, actually.
Moore's image is now on the cover of Time magazine, next to a picture of the president.
They're using it to symbolize a policy, and that was not the case on this picture. It took less than 2 minutes. As soon as the search was finished, she immediately picked the girl up, and the girl immediately stopped crying.
Moore says Ruiz and other agents acted professionally that night, but he is happy with the cover and the response to the image.
Oftentimes, immigration is talked about in terms of statistics, and when you put a human face and you humanize an issue, you make people feel. And when you make people feel, they have compassion. And if I've done just a little bit of that, then that's okay.
We are also fathers, we are also sons, we also have families, and we do care and we do our jobs and we treat these people as humanely and as best as we possibly can.
David Begnaud is joining us now from McAllen, Texas. David, you have some new information on the whereabouts of this girl and her mother. Tell us what you know.
Yes, they are being housed together at a facility in Dilley, Texas. So what happened is they were kept in the custody of Border Patrol for the first 72 hours. That was 10 days ago. After that 72-hour period, Border Patrol has to release them either on their own recognizance into the community or to another federal agency. In this case, they were turned over to ICE. ICE now confirms to CBS News they have the mother and the daughter at a family facility. They are in custody, make no mistake about it. They are in custody at the facility in Dilley, Texas. We're told that the mother has entered the country before and was deported. That was in 2017. So ICE is saying this is her second entry into the country, second entry illegally. That's what we're getting from ICE. Now, I should tell you, we have not spoken to the mother. We haven't been allowed access to the facility. So everything that we're telling you is coming from the federal government.
So at least that's good news. But, David, we know that there are thousands of children who have been separated from their families. What's going on with them? Only 500 have been returned.
Right, so we're trying to find out more information about the 500, right? So here's the thing, they'll say 500 kids have been returned. But the question we have is how, where, what time, when did you do it, who was involved, where were they coming from, right? We want more answers, quite frankly, to make sure that we're not being spun, if you will, right? And so we're working right now as I'm talking to you on the air. My colleagues in New York and Washington, D.C. are calling every federal agency from HHS, Health and Human Services, ICE, the Department of Homeland Security. But let me tell you what I know. After the president signed that executive order, there was a media blackout that went into effect. We were talking to people and having conversations, and they were giving us information, and then all of a sudden, media blackout. Nobody is returning calls. A few people are, a few people who have really good sources in Washington, but that's about it. The bottom line is I give you the backstory to tell you it is exceptionally difficult right now to get this information from these federal agencies. And I got to tell you, the fact that ICE sent us that email confirming that the mother and daughter are together, right? They're in custody and they're together, is only after 4 or 5 days of pushing officials to give us something, right? And it's worth noting, if any of us were to get arrested, anybody could, through public records, go online and find out what jail you're in, what time you were booked in, when you're going to see a judge, and other things about you that you'd probably be shocked to find out. But when it comes to this, we can't get nearly any of that. It's really, really difficult to get information.
Thanks
David Begnaud reporting for us. Thank you.
You bet.